Hey Virgo, welcome to March 2018. I have a few announcements before we get into this, and I promise it's going to be really quick. So, my husband and I had been wanting to move to North Carolina for almost 3 years now. He put in a request for a transfer about 3 years ago, and it finally went through. So we are very excited, but we are also freaking out at the fact that we have so many things that we have to do before he starts his new job at his new location in North Carolina. We have to find a new place, we have to move all this stuff, I have to find a new job myself. So things are getting a little bit stressful. So with that being said, I'm going to keep these videos very short and sweet for March and April. I'm not doing any fancy editing, no fancy intros and outros. I'm not going to be showing my shuffling because all of that is a part of the editing process, and it takes a very long time to do for all 12 videos. It's a lot of time, and we don't have that much time to work with right now. So, and also, what else did I want to say? I'm going to be changing the name of my business, and I'm still trying to figure out what feels best as far as a new name goes. So once I get that tied down, I will make an official announcement and also explain why I am changing the name as well. So stay tuned for that. You can follow me on Instagram at the Creative Gypsy, and you can go to my website, thecreativegypsy.net, if you'd like a private reading. I will say that I'm closing my doors on private readings March 22nd. So that's the start of Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is from March 22nd to April 15th. And during that time, I've found that when I do private readings during Mercury retrograde, I can do them, but it's a struggle for me to find the right words. There's just a lot of self-doubt that comes up when Mercury retrograde occurs for me. So I struggle with that. I'm a Gemini and I'm ruled by Mercury, so it does affect me mentally pretty strongly. And also, I'm not going to be reopening those doors until we get finally settled in North Carolina. So if you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch by my website, thecreativegypsy.net, between now and March 21st. So the first day of spring. And then after that, I'm going to be cutting it off. Is there anything else that I need to say? No, I think that's it. So I shuffled and I dealt out your cards, and we are going to get right into it. So these are laid out facing me, so I'm going to turn them around so you can see them from your perspective and understand what we're talking about here. So these are all upright, and that's always great. We have the Hierophant, which is the 5th card in the Major Arcana. We have the Empress, which is the 3rd card in the Major Arcana. We have Strength, which is the 8th card in the Major Arcana. And then we have the Page of Swords. So Major Arcana to me always represents something very important. And especially the fact that there's 3 Major Arcana cards coming up for you for this month means that it is a very significant month for you. Something is happening this month that is pretty big going on in your life. So here we go. We're going to get right into it. So the Hierophant. When I see this card, I feel like I am surrounding myself. I need to be surrounding myself with people that think the same way that I do, that I can bounce my ideas off of and get the kind of responses that I am actually looking for, if that makes sense. So the number 5 for me represents change. So there's some kind of significant change happening for you at the start of this month. So it seems like you're in the right mindset to embrace this change. I mean, obviously, look at her. She's just totally in her Zen mode. Maybe you've started up a meditative practice, or maybe just mentally you are feeling at ease. And this is interesting because the beginning of the month, we have the Virgo full moon. So I'm kind of curious how that is affecting you for the rest of this month. So maybe that is why this is such a significant month for you. So it seems like this is where we need to be for this entire month for it to flow in the way that we want it to. We want to be in this higher state of mind, positive state, trusting in the universe, knowing that everything's going to work out, getting in touch with our spiritual side, surrounding ourselves with people who are uplifting us rather than pulling us down, so that we can embrace the change a lot more easily, as opposed to resisting it and making it a dramatic thing. We're just like being easygoing with it, and all of that. So being in this state of mind is going to put us in like full like manifestation mode. Like, I'm ready to get this party I don't know why I just said that. I'm ready to get this party started, basically, is like what I was about to say. I'm ready to get this project moving. I am feeling my most creative. I am embracing the energy of change. I am embracing the energy of creativity, of manifestation. I am in the flow of change. I am embracing the flow of life. So like 3 would be like the cycle of life, birth, the middle of your life, and death. Just like being in that cycle, being in that flow. Everything is synced up and going in the way that we need it to. I hope that makes sense. So like, I'm mentally ready to embrace the flow, and now I'm in the flow. I'm like in my power, and just going with it, and very in a very easygoing way, in a very like energetic, like ready to take it on, empowering way, but also in a stress-free kind of way for now. For the most part, at least from a Virgo point of view, because it seems like there's always something to stress about with Virgo. But from the perspective of a Virgo, it is not as stressful as it usually is for them. Then we have the Strength card. So this energy of being in the flow, embracing the change and taking on this new thing that's going on in your life. I am feeling more empowered. I'm feeling more just in my strengths. I am utilizing my strengths to catapult me forward. When I saw this card, I thought of the song, I got the power. I don't sing, I'm sorry. What is this? Who is that by? Oh God, I can't think of it. But you know that 90s song, I Got the Power. But like, that's what I was hearing when this card came up. So just like fully in it. I am fully embracing this change. I am feeling invigorated by what's going on. Obviously this change is very positive for you, and it's bringing out a part of you that maybe you have not embraced in quite some time. And also in the other months, it's been all about like releasing, letting go, and like letting the things that you've been holding on to so tightly, like letting them go, whether it's emotionally or like just the stresses of life, like taking those burdens off your shoulders, releasing the pain, through tears, through just expressing it, letting it out. You know what I mean? I just felt like I needed to take a breath there. What was I saying? The months before have been about this releasing. And now this month seems to be all about fulfilling, like filling the parts of yourself that you have emptied out. You're filling it with what is actually beneficial for you through self-empowerment, through a calmer state of being, through allowing things to just, roll off you like water on a duck's back, if that makes sense. Just letting those stresses just roll off your shoulders. Like it's really not that big of a deal kind of energy going on. Like, it's okay. Like, we're going to get through this. Like, talking yourself through it. We're going to get through it. It's fine. Whatever. But I am ready to take on this new phase, head on. I'm excited. I am empowered. I am invigorated. I am strong. I am powerful. I am a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely. So that's this kind of energy that we're bringing in this month, and it's wonderful. So the only thing I want to say is this last card here kind of makes me think about Mercury retrograde. Because this sword is all about communication, thought, expression, and because he seems very young and inexperienced. So it's saying like, be willing to... So he seems very much like he thinks that he knows everything that he needs to know. And he is taking this teeny little sword and he's ready to charge on this new adventure. Well, you don't really know what you're going to run into with your dinky little sword. You may run into a giant dragon and that sword's barely going to do anything. You know what I mean? So it's like, kind of like, kind of like a little, like a small tad bit of like naivete mixed with some cockiness in a way, and just thinking that I've learned everything that I need to know when you haven't. So just, what is the word I want to say? So just understanding that you don't know everything yet, and it is time to grow up from that state of mind. And I think that's where, like, you've been understanding that over here, that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. And here it's where we can transform it from realizing that we don't know everything, that we may not have all the answers just yet, but we're excited to learn more. We're excited to continue seeking knowledge. We're excited to continue growing and to continue learning all the lessons that we need to learn in this lifetime. This way. So before, if you were feeling like you were resisting the lessons, you were resisting the changes in your life, it seems like you've released all of that, and now you are embracing the idea that you don't know everything, that you are excited for You are just excited for this new phase of your life. Maybe you haven't felt like this in a long time. Like you haven't felt like something new and exciting is coming and you are just so ready to embrace it because it's new and you don't know what it's going to bring. And that's exciting and that's empowering and that's just sparking something in your mind that hasn't been sparked in a long time, or at least over the last couple months, because you've been wrapped up in this fear of change and this fear of letting go. But now you've let go and now it's like, oh my God, I'm so excited to find out what's next, you know? So that's the energy of this month, and I really love it, and I really want you to just stay in that energy of being excited for learning what you haven't, learning new things, learning, you know, absorbing the unknown. Hope that makes sense. So I'm going to pull a card from the Nature's Whispers Oracle card deck. You know, the only thing I would say is just be careful once you hit Mercury retrograde, because you guys are also ruled by Mercury. So you may start to get like a monkey mind going, but just stay in your power and just breathe. And maybe I recommend starting a meditation practice the beginning of this month. You know, it doesn't have to be this ridiculous, 30-minute thing. Like, I don't do that. I do 7 minutes. I set a timer on my phone and I sit for 7 minutes. And that's what I do every day. And sometimes I miss a day and that's okay, but I'll do it when I go to bed. If I miss it in the morning, I will do it before I go to bed, before I go to sleep. So just a way of it's kind of just like hitting the refresh button on your mind. And it'll really come in handy towards the end of the month. Look at that, hope and happiness. That's a wonderful card. Can you read that? I don't know if you can, but yeah. I think that is a wonderful card to pull for this month for you guys. This is totally the vibration of this month for you guys. You're feeling hopeful again. So if you were feeling like pessimistic or like really, really caught up in your head the last couple months, it feels like that energy is over. And I'm kind of curious if the Virgo full moon kind of helped to bring this out of you, bringing back that excitement for the future, feeling hopeful for what's to come, and not worrying about the fact that you don't have an exact answer on what's coming next, because you guys like to know what's happening now, this, here, there, blah 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 blah. So just embrace this energy. Just embrace this vibe of just being in that flow and not knowing what's coming next, but embracing it and being excited for it and hopeful. Okay, Virgo, I think this is going to be a great month for you, and I'm so thrilled to see this month because my husband's a Virgo and we're in this process of moving, and I know that I'm totally freaking out. I'm totally stressing out, and it's actually kind of weird because a week or so, like when we found out, I was in total stressed out mode and he was like, it's all gonna work out, it's all right, like we're gonna figure it out. I'm like, what? Who is this person? Usually it's flipped, and I'm like, we'll be fine. Whatever, we'll make it work. And he's like, what's happening? I need to know what's happening. You know, how are we going to financially make this work? Da 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 da. And I'm like, we're fine. But it's like, it's flipped now. And like, I'm the one freaking out. And he's like, you know, we'll figure it out. We're going with the flow. I'm like, what? So, this is going to be very interesting, and I can't wait to see what happens. I really can, and I'm actually very thrilled that this kind of energy is coming up for you guys for this month, because I don't know if I'd be able to handle both of us being totally stressed out, so. All right, Virgo, I hope that you enjoyed this. Please go to my website if you would like a private reading. It'll be open until March 21st. thecreativegypsy.net. Follow me on Instagram at @thecreativegypsy if you want to see our process of our travels. Okay, I will see you in April. Take it easy.